Redkey, Sydney Hilly, Madison Duello, Tiffany Clark, and Molly Haggerty. Wisconsin serving up 1-0. Good little finesse point. Near side point scored by Tessier for Florida State.
Dean, right off the bat, both teams with great reception of the serve. That's going to be one of the keys for success for both of these teams today.
Madison Sullivan, the libero for the Seminoles, serving for Florida State. Out of system, so a free one for the Seminoles right down the middle. Fantastic dig by the Badgers as they get their shape back. Double block for Florida State. Push over, empty spot, open and in. The point going to Grace Loberg, the junior from Geneva.
Wisconsin Badgers with a defensive mindset that is very, very strong, and we can see that right off the bat, keeping the ball off the floor.
So here's Lauren Barnes, who last year played for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who will play North Carolina in the next game. She transfers from Minnesota to the Badgers, and there's Barnes with that first touch and a kill flying high in the air. Molly Haggerty, what a story she is. Overcome so much, returned to an All-American status last year, the redshirt junior.
Outstanding transition kill for Molly, and we're excited to see what she's capable of now that she's healthy.
Barnes serving again. Barnes, who played on that Florida State team, or on that Minnesota team rather, with Jasmine Martin, who's Martin right there on the block. So you got a couple Golden Gophers featuring right now.
And right off the bat, we can see the top blocker for the ACC, Taryn Knuth, on that ball from Molly Haggerty.
Unbelievable diving effort there from Lauren Barnes. And then the finish for Florida State, though, on the other side, as we mentioned, both those players coming over from Minnesota. Florida State able to handle Redkey on the far side, and Florida State has this one tied.
Dan, and if there is somebody that's going to slow down, then Ricky, again, ACC blocker of the year, Taryn Knuth for Florida State.
Florida State serving 3-3. Was it deflected? They'll say no. Point Florida State as they have their first lead.
The Seminoles putting pressure on Wisconsin with tough serving right now.
Right through the tape. And a point for Florida State as Marissa Stockman, it's rather Adrian L. serving, the redshirt sophomore from Cincinnati, in a 2-point lead over Wisconsin. A service error for Florida State, the first of the game.
Then sometimes players get too excited. Right after an ace, try to serve the ball a little bit harder. Unfortunately, right on the net this time.
So here's Redkey serving, as Diego Castaneda told you, playing with the U.S. team. She has improved a game that didn't need much improvement. Great job crossing over to the right side, dug out by Wisconsin and tooling it. Redkey goes right through not one but two Seminoles for the point.
Incredible job by Ricky, not only with that attack, but also playing some defense out of the back row. 6'8", not something easy to do.
Redkey, the first player with 2 kills so far. We're tied at 5s here. First set, denied at the net was Chacon, as Wisconsin back in front, 6-5. Redkey serving. And first service error for Wisconsin. Both teams with a service error, and we're tied at 6.
Both teams trying to bring pressure to each other from the service line. We're going to see some errors. This is the first game of the season.
So it's the redshirt freshman, Morgan Chacon, serving for Florida State, tied at 6. Excellent dig by the Seminoles. Dug out a back row, little tap over, kept alive. Now Wisconsin tries to get back in system, but not on target there, out of bounds from Haggerty.
I think we had a net violation on Florida State.
Good call, Diego. So the point will come back to Wisconsin, as the attempt there from Haggerty was not in bounds, but the net violation, good job. It's 7-6 Badgers. Don't forget, at 6:30, it's North Carolina and the Minnesota Golden Gophers as part of the 2019 ACC Big Ten Volleyball Challenge here in Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill hosted in 2016. Last year they were at the Target Center as a trial for the Final Four for volleyball. Good work at the net for Wisconsin, denying Florida State. Pushed over and flushed. Good recovery there as Taryn Canute with the kill.
And then we can see right away the physicality of Wisconsin stopping Florida State at the net 3 times, but Taryn Canute with an aggressive play at the net.
Double block for Florida State. Dug out again. Cross court and in. A perfect finish there from Madison Duello, known as Smooth Jazz by her head coach Kelly Sheffield.
Madison Duello doing a really good job getting ready to take those back-to-back swings and getting a kill for the Badgers.
One of those 5 All-Americans, Wisconsin and Minnesota, as a service ace coming for Haggerty.
And then this is something that we want to look for this match. How much is Wisconsin going to serve Peyton Caffrey?
9-7. Knocked over by Caffrey. Flying high in absolute smoke there from Duello.
Madison Duello again transitioning off the net, getting ready to get some kills and putting the ball down for the Badgers.
In the middle of campus here, University of North Carolina, 2019 ACC Big Ten Challenge. Molly Haggerty, one of those 5 All-Americans for the Badgers, serving with Wisconsin up 10-7 over the Seminoles. Game 1 of 2. UNC and Minnesota will follow this one. Dug out. Phenomenal save, but Florida State staying in system, and they just get it inside for the point. Deja Williams.
That was an amazing defensive play by Tiffany Clark, getting that ball over the net for the Badgers.
So Lily Tessier, the redshirt freshman from Fort Myers, will serve now for Florida State, down to set number 1. Right down the middle, and another kill coming for Duello.
And then right off the bat, something that Coach Poole shared with us, they're running a 6-2 system of volleyball, meaning that 2 setters are going to be on the court throughout this whole match.
Wisconsin serving with Tiffany Clark, touches the tape. Caffrey, and they'll say inbounds, deflected, so the point for Caffrey with the kill.
It just got the hands of, looks like Duello right there for a kill for Peyton Caffrey.
Peyton Caffrey, such a fierce competitor. Diego Castaneda recruited her at one of his stops, and first time trying to hammer over there for Wisconsin was Loberg. Great dig from the back row coming from Dodge, and goes through Caffrey, kept alive. And now a free ball for Wisconsin. They'll get set. They fake Retke, go the other side, dug out again. Good volleyball here early in the season, and the Seminoles had to scramble, but they get the point.
Then I don't know how many times I've seen a player block the ball without looking at it, but an amazing show of athleticism by Emma Clothier.
So Caffrey serving to tie. They're down 1. Florida State is 2. Wisconsin, the slide, Retke in rhythm, and an automatic kill.
insistent play for the Badgers, and Rettke putting that ball down on top of the block of Florida State.
Rettke and Duello leading the Badgers both with 3 kills, and Rettke hitting .500 to start this one, giving the Badgers a 2-point lead, 12-10 first set. Wisconsin serving up 2. They continue to target Caffrey for contract. What a great one-handed dig there by Dodge, and off of that dig, Wisconsin with the point. How about the dig from Dodge?
Unbelievable dig by Dodge, and transition kill for Rettke. One of the hallmarks of Wisconsin Badger volleyball, that unrelentless defense.
Rettke leads all players with 4 kills. Wisconsin leads by 3 first set. They go back near side, right along the pin, dug out by Wisconsin, and deflected point kill Loberg, one of many weapons for Kelly Sheffield.
Dean, Wisconsin is doing a terrific job transitioning to offense and getting some kills for the Badgers.
4-point lead for Wisconsin. Wisconsin hitting at 280. Florida State at 143. Rolls around. Rettke was there. A lot of emotion with Sydney Hilly. Hilly back over to Rettke, stays in bounds. Rettke points to the ground with her 5th kill.
Sydney Hilly doing a terrific job, going back to the hot hand right now, which for Wisconsin, that is Dana Rettke.
A timeout called here by Florida State. So let's take a look at some Big Ten ACC history. No surprise, Big Ten, without question, the best conference for volleyball as we start to go inside the numbers. The Big Ten 14-2. Of course, in 2016, North Carolina beat Wisconsin. Look at Wisconsin, that only loss right there. And Florida State, they're just getting into this.
Florida State, Coach Paul shared with us, this is their 3rd year doing this tournament. He's really excited about the level of competition and believes wholeheartedly that his team can probably surprise some people this weekend.
Both teams led by outstanding coaches. We have 4 great coaches. Kelly Sheffield, 7th season as the Wisconsin top man, coming over from Dayton. He's from Ball State, where he graduated. Also had success at Albany. The guy's a winner.
He's done it every stop that he's made. Kelly's an unbelievable coaching mind. His philosophy, his teams always reflect toughness and very defensive minded.
Meanwhile, Chris Poole, does 824 wins work for you? 273 at Florida State, but he got a bunch at Arkansas, Arkansas State, Arkansas Tech. 824 overall wins.
Then Chris Poole, all he does is win. He's done a terrific job for 10 plus years at Florida State.
15-10. The Badgers on a run right now, led by the 5 kills from Rettke, and a service error, just the 2nd for Wisconsin.
Trying to put that pressure. They went away from serving Peyton Caffrey, and I think that was the reason for that mistake right there.
So Florida State down 4. Madison Sullivan, the libero, serving. Rettke denied at the net. She may get another chance. And out of bounds, the block attempt there by Bailey by Taryn Canute, just out of bounds.
Great job by Grace Lover, using those blockers' hands to get a kill for the Badgers.
So 16-11, 5-point lead. Barnes back in to serve for Kelly Sheffield. And Wisconsin with the block. denying Jasmine Martin is once again the story of two former Golden Gophers now playing with different teams. Martin with Florida State, Barnes with Wisconsin. The transfer portal has changed the game.
It's unbelievable, and more teams are now actually able to use those players right away, which is making the level of volleyball just get better and better for every single one of these teams.
Boy, Wisconsin had a free ball but did not take advantage of it. They still get the point anyway, though. Is a little bit sloppy there from Florida State, and it's 18-11, 7-point lead for the Badgers.
That was one that the Seminoles would love to get back. It's a little bit of communication mistake right there for the Noles.
One service ace for both teams. Right down the middle, but out of bounds. Sliding across there was Tieran Canute. But Canute, again, not able to keep it in play. Barnes serving up 8. Trying to keep the run going for the Badgers. Not deflected, and again, not in bounds. Chacon this time, missing far side. And Barnes on a run here for Wisconsin.
And then Florida State doing a really good job receiving the serve right now, but I think that big block in front of them is making them hit the ball just a little bit of target.
Hilly to Retke, and she goes through 1, 2, 3 Seminoles. Retke with 6 kills.
Unbelievable job, but Retke not only blocking, but then transition to get those kills for the Badgers.
First 2 Seminoles at the net, one on the back row, and they still can't slow it down. Barnes, hot, and as I say that, service there, third for Wisconsin, but that run right there has pushed the lead to 9, 21-12 Wisconsin.
And we see Adriana all back on the court for the Seminoles. This was the rotation that really got them close at the beginning of the match. Let's take a look and see if they can get it back right here.
Haggerty first time. Haggerty right back. Great dig by Elle in the back row. Wisconsin, though, still ready to flush it at the net. And they're 3 points away from taking that first set.
And then it all started with that reception by Tiffany Clark. Perfect ball right on target for Sydney Healy. Good tempo set for Molly Haggerty for the kill.
Tiffany Clark, third team All-American. Retke serving up 10, Badgers. Retke back row. Hilly far side. Caffrey, the reigning ACC Player of the Year. Chacon denied at the net. Retke in rhythm with Hilly.
Unbelievable block right there by the Badgers. And again, Dana Retke can do it all. 6'8", playing defense like a libero back there.
6 kills, hitting .556, Retke is. Wisconsin, Hilly goes to Haggerty. Sullivan, Caffrey with the hammer dug out though by Barnes. Haggerty pushes it, but out of bounds as Florida State pulled their arms down in time. Point Seminoles.
Amazing dig by Lauren Burns. And Molly Haggerty just sat a little bit tight. She was trying to use the block, just missed it by inches.
23-13. Seminoles with a service ace at the right time, and they've got the Florida State Tomahawk going. 2 service aces now for Florida State. (23-14). Chacon. Haggerty first. Hilly, Haggerty. One-handed strength there from Caffrey. Haggerty, too much power. Haggerty with 4 kills.
Then Molly Haggerty doing a great job getting ready to take those swings, transitioning very hard and putting herself in a really good position to make the best out of her opportunities right now.
Wisconsin in position to take the first set. Hilly serving. Was it deflected? It was, so point Florida State. Nice movement. Sliding over was Canute.
Just a great job with the resection, staying in system, and a very heavy swing on the slide for Canute.
Taylor Roberts, sophomore from Sneads, Florida, Sneads High School. On to serve for Chris Poole. Chris Poole in his 12th season with the Seminoles. One more point for Wisconsin to take this first set. Big swing denied at the net by Florida State. Finesse second time around. Pancake not there. Point going to Madison Duello. A little smooth jazz, and the Badgers take set number one. 25-15, led by Dana Retke, 6 kills. Wisconsin up 1-0 over the Seminoles. Country, Wisconsin 25-15. Now Diego Jr., Dana Retke, she leads all returning players in the nation, hitting percentage 423. She's almost at 600 in this first set.
And not only that, Dean, she is killing the ball at a rate of 70%. Just to put that in perspective, think of a baseball player hitting 7 home runs out of 10 swings. Just unbelievable.
That is a great comparison. Dana Retke, the returning All-American. Now remember, she led the nation in career hitting percentage, 423. She's hitting 556 right now. And as you said, she's a stat stuffer because she's also got a couple digs to go in there with the 6 kills and the block, as she can do it all. And boy, you talk about last year, her improvement, but then spending all that time with the USA national team, there's so much confidence right now, number 1-6.
And not only that for the Wisconsin team and the confidence that she's bringing with her, but Florida State right now is trying really hard to go around Retke, and that's what's making them make some errors. We saw 5 attack errors on that first set for the Seminoles, and that was because Retke was in front of them at 6'8". Something so tough older for the Seminoles.
As a former coach, if you're Chris Poole, you were in it early on, but then Wisconsin went on that ridiculous run behind Lauren Barnes. What did you say to your team if you're Coach Chris Poole?
I will just tell them, hey, we got to get back to being aggressive. That's what kept this game close for the first 12, 15 points of the set. Let's go back to playing Florida State volleyball, take aggressive swings, and we'll get right back into it.
Great to have Diego Castaneda, who has been a part of multiple collegiate programs and club programs. I'm Dean Linke. Second set ready to go, and it's Jasmine Martin able to tool that block and bring it right through as Florida State with the first point.
Right away, a great example of being aggressive and using the block to your advantage to get a kill.
Adrian L., the redshirt sophomore from Cincinnati, Archbishop McNicholas High School, with that knee brace on her left knee, down the middle, loading it up. Madison Duello. Now here's the deal. Kelly Sheffield calls her smooth jazz, and I asked him why. As you take a look, if that doesn't look like smooth jazz, I don't know what does. And he really said there's really no reason, but she's just so smooth, and I like the nickname.
It's great mechanics. That's the reason for Madison Duello's success. Very efficient in her approach and a very fast arm swing.
Retke with 7 kills now, 2 ahead of Duello. And Wisconsin, back-to-back points. Anthony Ashburn serving for Wisconsin, and a whistle called against, we saw the double hit there, called against Florida State. Now 3 in a row for Wisconsin.
Indeed, Florida State doing a really good job handling that service from the Badgers right now. Just got to get a little bit cleaner with the execution.
They continue. Great point here as it goes off of Haggerty. She can't handle it. Good touch there from Chacon.
Something to look for. It looks like Wisconsin is shifting their strategy a little bit and trying to serve that ball to the freshman, the redshirt freshman, Morgan Chacon.
Chacon now serving for Florida State, down 1. Down 1 set and down 1 point here in the second set. Hilly goes behind the back, and Florida State able to flushed down that attempt there from Loberg.
Two of the most athletic players on the Florida State team, Knuth and Deja Williams from Georgia with the block.
Chacon serving tied at 3. And a service ace for Chacon, and 3 service aces for the Seminoles to just 1 for Wisconsin.
And Morgan with what we call jump floater, just drives the ball at the receiver.
Another great serve from Chacon, and another service ace from Chacon.
And a little bit of an unexpected communication error for the Badgers. Coach Sheffield probably not too happy with those.
So 5-3. Chacon with 2 service aces in a row, and you get that adrenaline going, right? How many times do you see that happen after a couple of service aces? You smoke one right into the net.
Something that we coaches tell our players all the time. Slow down a little bit, keep the ball in, keep adding that pressure, and try to avoid the mistakes.
So here comes Barnes, who truly was a spark plug in that first set on that long run of almost 10 consecutive points, and Knuth off balance, can't get it over. Point for Barnes and the Badgers.
And just a little miscommunication, a little bit of a timing error between Arian L and Sharon Knuth right there.
Barnes, who's got 3 digs to go with her excellent serving. Caffrey, Retke was there but cannot keep it in bounds, and Caffrey able to earn the point.
And that's the competitor of Impatient Caffrey right there, not afraid of 6'8". Dana Rick in front of her just takes a heavy swing to the block for the kill.
Peyton Caffrey, the senior from Florida Winter Springs High School, reigning ACC Player of the Year. Retke. Picked up back row, though, by Florida State. So much power from Retke. Other side, Haggerty. Power, precision, accuracy, point Badgers.
Right now, Dean, what we can see is a Wisconsin team that is in system the majority of the time. That makes things for Sydney Healy a lot easier in terms of her options and running this offense for the Badgers.
Retke serving, tied at 6. Caffrey pops it in the air. Barnes, initial dig. Retke, and another free one here for Florida State. 2 strong there. Charging in was Deja Williams. It'll be a point back to Retke and Wisconsin. They lead it by 1.
Very smart volleyball by the Badgers right there, giving the ball to Florida State and just playing defense, making them make an error right there.
Retke. L hustles. Phenomenal. Shot there by Chacon. Hangs on the net. Still loose. Too many touches. Point Wisconsin. That's too bad because that was a great play from Chacon.
But Dean, is there something that Retke cannot do? Even soft shots out of the back row. Everything that she's touching right now is becoming a point for the Badgers.
8-6. Second set. Badgers up 1-0. L for Caffrey. Retke with a dig. Hilly with the hustle. Haggerty push. And 3 All-Americans combining for a point for Wisconsin.
Unbelievable job again by Retke, the back row. I think that's 4 digs for her in this match. And a play that not so clean, but it just excites the team and gets them prepared. And a transition kill, very smooth by Molly Haggerty. As
a team, Wisconsin hitting 340%, 340, and Florida State hitting .050. A key difference in the game. 21 digs for Wisconsin, 12 for Florida State. Retke serving, Badgers up 3. Caffrey, the initial dig. Now Caffrey's got to give an easy one to Wisconsin. So many weapons. Sliding over, far side, another point for Wisconsin. This time coming from Danielle Hart.
And Danielle Hart on the slide, and And then it's all stemming from an amazing defense that Wisconsin is playing right now. Just to put it in perspective, you usually get 5 to 6 digs per set. They're averaging right now 10 digs per set right now, the Badgers.
Well said. 21 digs already to just 12 for Florida State. Retke continues from the service line. She brings some heat and blocked Haggerty with her hand in the air over there with Hart. And Wisconsin now making another one of those patented runs.
A great job by the outside hitter, Molly Haggerty, setting that block for her middle blocker. Both of them closing together and put the ball down.
Retke serving up 5, a service ace for Retke. As Diego Castaneda said, she can do it all.
And then at 6'8", the angle from where this ball is coming from is just something that none of these girls on the Florida State team are used to see.
12-6 as Wisconsin has doubled up the Seminoles here in the second set, led by Retke from the service line. Caffrey pretty deep, dug out by Barnes. Hilly hustles, Haggerty will just push it over. Martin first time, another easy one. Haggerty, Hilly, Haggerty. She'll fist that one over, quick release. Dug out by Wisconsin and Haggerty. You can get me once, but with power, Haggerty with 7 kills.
Great job again, that transition offense of the Badgers, something that Coach Sheffield shared with us. He was looking forward to see how his defense will become points this weekend, and they're doing a terrific job this afternoon.
8-0 scoring run right now for Wisconsin, led by their All-American USA superstar Dana Retke. Caffrey denied at the net, not able to dig it out with Sullivan, and yet another point. 9-0 run, Wisconsin.
And then I will take my setter, give the ball back to Peyton Caffrey right now. She's going to be eager to take another heavy swing.
Retke, 8 kills, hitting .538. When she stepped back behind the service line, the score was 6-5. Now it's 14-6. Wisconsin on top. Hilly, back to Haggerty. Finesse. Dug out by Martin. Caffrey again denied at the net. In a rhythm, Hilly right there with Hart. An unbelievable service ace on a 10-0 run. They lead at 15-6. They're definitely in system. What does that mean anyway, Diego?
Then, as we look at the volleyball court, when your setter is at the net in the middle of the court, and she's able to set the ball from that position, that means being in system. Wisconsin not only in service reception, but also their defense. Their digs every single time are going right to that target area. That is making Sydney Healy very efficient as a setter right now.
Dana Retke serving for 11 in a row. Back row, Chacon gets a point for Florida State. What a timeout for Coach Poole.
And a very good job by Morgan Chacon using that block to get a kill. Long for the Seminoles.
Lily Tessier serving. Florida State down 8. Haggerty has trouble. First contact, but she'll get another chance anyway. Martin clipped it. Caffrey, pancake save by Wisconsin. Diving for it was Aspern, but Florida State comes back with the point after the pancake.
Not always have to hit the ball hard to give yourself another chance to take a heavy swing.
Tessier. Haggerty. Hilly. Haggerty. What a dig from Sullivan. Martin's just got to send it over. Hilly sliding back behind her. And too deep, they'll say no deflection, point Wisconsin.
And right now, Sydney Hill is doing a great job setting the ball on Florida State's smallest blocker at the net, who is Peyton Caffrey.
Hilly with 19 assists already. Meanwhile, Tessier leads Florida State with 5, 16-8. Look at that, quick release and in for Danielle Hart.
First overpass of the match, and what a joy to see those middles just put the ball down.
Pretty good crank there from Hart. Hilly serving 17-8. Perfect finish there to kill Emma Clothier, the freshman from Texas.
Very good job by Emma with that quick attack in the middle for the Seminoles.
So Emma Clothier, I apologize to the Clothier family, it's 17-9. Hilly, Haggerty, all the way deep in rhythm, flying at the time. You talk about knowing what Hilly's going to bring.
And we saw right there on that play a little bit of the inexperience from Florida State. Freshman Rebecca Nanji went with the slide and that left Haggerty open in the middle.
Retke and Haggerty both with 8 kills. Haggerty after that kill with the service error. 4th service error of the game to just 2 for Florida State. The lead is 18-10. Second set, Florida State down 1-0.
I think Florida State's trying to get back to, again, those first 10-15 points of this match where they were being aggressive. They were doing a very good job receiving the serve, and they just went away from it, Dean, and that's going to be a little bit frustrating for Coach Poole and his staff because that's gotten the match away from them.
The libero for Florida State, Madison Sullivan, senior from Jacksonville, with a service error. That's 3 service error for Florida State, and they can't afford those right now, as now it's a 9-point deficit, and probably more importantly, Wisconsin just 6 away from going up 2-0.
And not only that, but Recky's back on the court for the Badgers.
Good catch. Martin denied at the net. Retke was there. Back row cleanup for Wisconsin. Retke, a kill without power. 9 kills, leads all players.
Right off the bat, first touch that she has when she comes back turns into a kill for the Badgers.
Retke with 9 kills, Haggerty with 8, 27 kills so far to just 11 for Florida State. 20-10 here, second set. A fake Retke, ready for it was Canute.
Great job by Knuth, and Nunji setting up that block for the Seminoles.
Couple changes here for Chris Poole. As we mentioned, just the second time Florida State has participated. They were at the Target Center last year, lost both matches to Wisconsin and Minnesota. It's 2011, Florida State serving down 9. Retke, dig by Sullivan. Pushed over. If Florida State can get this point, remember that Sullivan dig. Another dig coming from L. Sullivan. Caffrey gives a free one for Wisconsin. Caffrey with a dig, back row. Push over, it goes back to Sullivan. Good work by Canute. Canute wants it back instead. Able to tool it there for Florida State. Flying in is Jessica Nunge.
Great job by Jessica right there, using that block to get that kill of Madison Duello.
2012. And a service ace. Here's the thing, when you have a big dig like that for Sullivan that ended up being almost 60 seconds earlier, your team feels it though.
It's one of those plays that I like to call a 2-3-point play, because it gets your team so fired up that it gets them just like this to play a little bit harder for the next couple of points.
Impressive run right here, 4-0 run for Florida State. They've cut the lead to 6. L serving. Hilly. Hilly able to go through not 1 but 2 as Grace Loberg took that big swing.
A little bit of an adjustment in the reception formation for the Badgers. Try to give Florida State a different look at the service line, and works very well for Coach Sheffield and his staff, getting the point right there.
Boy, Hilly, she can just put it on a dime, can't she? Loberg just cranked it. Phenomenal dig by Ashburn, getting some quality minutes, but Florida State coming back with Williams.
I think that was the first mistake that we've seen from Sydney Hilly all afternoon.
Florida State's number 10, Jessica Nunji.
So Nunji serving down 6. Nunji. Retke. Picked up by L. Williams flushed by Retke. She went up together with Loberg.
6'3" and 6'8" right in front of you. That's a tough matchup for Deja Williams.
7 blocks now for Wisconsin. 2 for Retke, 2 for Haggerty. And now Barnes will come on to try to close it out for Kelly Sheffield and the Badgers and give them a 2-0 lead. Good work by Canute again. Canute has been outstanding, as Canute now with 3 kills.
Nice insistent play and slide kill for Canute of the Seminoles.
Taylor Roberts going to come off the bench for Chris Poole. The sophomore from Sneads, Florida will serve. 22-16, second set. Hilly, Haggerty. Haggerty, doesn't even matter how deep she is, and a point there for Caffrey. How does Caffrey do it at just 6 feet tall?
Dean, it's all about heart. It's one of those kids that since she's been a freshman in high school, you see her and she plays hard every single time. Every single point. It's just what I like to see.
22-17. Haggerty denied again, and Florida State showing some confidence here, making a run.
Few sloppy last 2 or 3 points for the Badgers. We'll need to see if Coach Sheffield is ready to take a timeout and make some changes.
Wisconsin now hitting just .284, but Florida State hitting .048. Kept alive, back row, through the tape. That's some power right there, coming from the back row.
And Jessica Nunji, whose sister played volleyball at Notre Dame, bringing in some energy from the bench for the Seminoles.
As we talked about coming on the air, the Big Ten, the best conference in the nation for volleyball. It's like playing an NCAA tournament game every single game once conference play begins. Check that out right there, as you've got 5 teams in the top 10, Diego, 2 more, and Ohio State, Michigan State are pretty good. They're all good.
And then that's a testament of the strength of high school and club volleyball in the Midwest. It's been good for a really, really long time, and you see your teams right in the middle of it in the Big Ten, the beneficiaries of that quality of talent.
Molly Haggerty, a 3rd-team All-American in 2016, has come all the way back, and her numbers with 8 kills, pretty impressive.
Molly doing a really good job in her transition, getting herself ready to take those heavy swings, and also putting some finesse into her attacking. Just being really diverse, something that's very difficult to defend.
You also see her with the block. When she can get that big arm swing going, there's some major torque.
Absolutely. Molly's always hit the ball hard, and it is just exciting to see her back healthy and contributing for the Badgers.
22-19. Good run here by Florida State. 4-0 run to cut the lead to 3. Speaking of 3, Wisconsin 3 points away from taking that second set. Behind the back, Hilly to Retke, and Retke in double digits with kills.
Only took her 2 sets to get to those 10 kills, and again, in-system ball. Great timing between Hilly and Ricky. She puts the ball down with a slide.
Well, you think about Hilly and then Minnesota's now departed Samantha Seliger-Swenson. Their ability to do that back set, unbelievable. Point to Wisconsin.
And Dean, that is one of the more complex plays in volleyball. Takes a lot of time working together with your setter to just really come together and develop that timing that it takes to become really, really good at hitting that slide. In the case of Sydney Healy, it's also difficult to set somebody who is 6'8". She's doing a tremendous job leaving the ball high, which is something that Redkey needs to be successful.
I feel like Redkey's been part of almost all 25 points, as Caffrey, though, blows it by Redkey. And there's the ACC reigning player of the year, sending some fire to that back row, and Redkey can't handle it.
And one thing that we see in that play is that Peyton Caffrey is going to put the ball away if you leave her one-on-one. You need to double block her every single time.
Haggerty gives Florida State a free opportunity here. Martin, little finesse. What a touch from the former Golden Gopher, Jasmine Martin.
Very smart play by Jasmine. She sees two blockers in front of her, so she decides to throw the changeup right there to get a point for the Seminoles.
24-21. Chris Poole wants to talk it over as they do a little cleanup action on the Wisconsin side. Tessier.
I think we're gonna look here for a slide or to set the ball back to Haggerty on the outside.
Match point for Wisconsin. Haggerty. Overpass. Haggerty. Denied. Martin right there, side by side.
Maybe that familiarity from playing against Haggerty back during her time at Minnesota helped Jasmine Matter be successful against her right now.
24-22. Coach Sheffield wants to talk it over, just down 2. As Wisconsin using all of their timeouts. Florida State still with 2 left. What's Coach Sheffield saying here, knowing they're just 1 point away from going up 2-0?
Coach Sheffield right now is asking his back row players to take a deep breath, focus on getting a really good reception of the serve, and probably telling Sydney Healy to use that slide that has worked so well for them so far.
Meanwhile, Florida State coach Chris Poole's got to be pretty happy as you take a look at the preseason poll right there. Florida State number 2, North Carolina pick number 5, but that's a nice preseason pick there for Florida State.
And the Seminoles, they're a team that are young, almost 17 players that didn't travel or competed last year for them. And I think Coach Poole is really excited to see that after the first set that didn't go the way they wanted, they have come back, they have fought back, and they have gone back to the Seminole type of volleyball play.
Hearing the wisdom of Diego Castaneda. Has spent a lot of time in the college game, club game, familiar with the high school scene, on the recruiting scene. Pleasure to have him in the booth. Still just 1 point away from Wisconsin taking a 2-0 lead. Good dig by Florida State. Haggerty to win it. Haggerty wins it. 2-0. Wisconsin 25-22. Dana Redkey with 10 kills. Haggerty with 9 kills. Great work here as they drop it over. Haggerty, 9 kills, and Wisconsin up 2-0 over the Florida State Seminoles. ACC Big Ten. Them from Dana Redkey and Molly Haggerty. Those 2 All-Americans have been phenomenal.
And the connection between Sydney Healy and Dana Redkey right now is unbelievable. We can see that Dana is doing a really good job transitioning, getting herself in a position. We can see her running very hard to get to that slide, and Healy leaving that ball high for her.
She's got 10 kills, but Molly Haggerty with 9 kills and a couple digs.
To be successful in volleyball, you need an outside that can put the ball away, and Haggerty has done that for the Badgers this entire match. She comes from a family, Dean, 3 sisters that play volleyball in Big Ten programs, so she's ready and just performing for the Badgers right now.
You see the stats. Wisconsin was hitting around 400. They've come down a little bit, but enough to take a 2-0 lead here.
Yeah, and those 30 kills, something that jumps out of me also is the way that the Wisconsin team is scoring points. You can see that the blocks and the aces, and Sydney Healy with 24 assists. Just to put it in perspective, Dean, imagine a quarterback, tossing those balls and putting just the ball right on target every single time for the hitters.
So great to be with you here on the ACC Network. Just launched a few days ago, an awesome conference. The number 5 team in the country, a team that I believe could win the national championship. Wisconsin taking set 1, 25-15, set 2, 25-21. Alongside longtime volleyball coach Diego Castaneda, I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you on the ACC Network and ACC Network Extra. Hard not to be excited about the conference and the launch of the network, Diego.
It is exciting just to have more opportunities for the sport of volleyball to continue growing in the United States. Very high level this weekend, and really fired up about these teams right here in front of us.
All right, so here we go. Beginning the third set, Carmichael Arena, 2019 ACC Big Ten Volleyball Challenge. North Carolina will take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers, number 3 Minnesota at 6:30 right here on ACC Network Extra. Shot too long, opening point, Florida State.
Just a mistake that we haven't seen too much from Grace Lober this afternoon. Very good start for the Seminoles for this third set.
Florida State serving, third set up 1-0. Loberg. Scramble. Can they get it over? Good hustle from Florida State. But now Wisconsin can get it rolling. They fake Retke. They go Loberg. And Loberg too deep. What a scramble there from Florida State.
Great showing of athleticism by the Florida State back row. We can see Peyton Caffrey going to the ground for that ball. Ellis keeping it alive, and Jasmine Martin with an unbelievable play to give it back to the Badgers.
Go ahead and hang on to that point as Retke gets kill number 11. As I say that, if somehow Florida State can win this third set, that point will be huge. But one way to stop momentum is to get it to Dana Retke.
And one thing that we saw from Sydney Healy right there, first couple of balls, she gave them to Lober. Third time around, she said, enough, we got to put the ball away. Going back to Retke.
Dig by Sullivan. Play at the net. Both teams have done a pretty good job staying out of the net. It'll go through 2 Badgers, including Retke. Points Seminoles. So after 2 sets, solid adjustments here for Coach Poole and a 3-1 lead for Florida State.
And Coach Sheffield right now is asking for a clarification on the rules. Seemed like a back row player attacked the ball, which is illegal in volleyball once you are in front of the 10-foot line close to the net. Referees didn't agree with it, so we keep the point with the Seminoles.
Great eyes from our main man, Diego Castaneda. Coach Sheffield seems okay with what he heard. Hilly, Loberg, dug out by Caffrey, and nobody's going to run that one down. Point Wisconsin.
And this time around, Lober did a much better job at passing the ball and staying in rhythm and putting a heavy swing, as we can see on the replay, for that kill for the Badgers.
Loberg now with 5 kills. Duello also has 5. Retke and Haggerty combined have 20. Barnes back out there for Coach Sheffield. Caffrey first time. Caffrey will get it back from the back row. Retke sliding over, and Retke with kill number 12.
Dean, how many times have we seen that connection between Sydney Healy and Dana Retke on that slide? It's just unstoppable right now for the Badgers.
Hilly to Retke. They keep going for first contact to Caffrey. She's had some tough balls to deal with. Haggerty flushed out of there by Williams. Haggerty again. This time Caffrey will clean it up deep. Popped in the air. And Nunji too deep. Point Badgers.
Very smart volleyball by Haggerty right there. taking a heavy swing, getting rejected. Next swing, taking a little bit off, keeping the ball in play, putting pressure on Florida State. And we see Nanji trying a little bit too hard to make a finesse play, and unfortunately making an error for the Seminoles.
So here's Barnes. Wisconsin down 3-1, now up 4-3. Nunji picked up by Barnes. She's got 7 digs. Retke got 13 kills. It's the Retke show here in Chapel Hill.
And then this is the 3rd time in a row that Retke gets that kill down the line. We should see an adjustment from the Florida State defense the upcoming plays. They got to try something different to try to slow her down during that play.
Continue to have some issues around the net. Both Wisconsin and Florida State calling for a little extra broom service as it's 5-3. Wisconsin on top, Barnes serving. Canute goes right through Retke and Haggerty.
Very aggressive swing by the Taryn Knuth right there for the Seminoles.
So
Florida State, Jessica Nunji. Wisconsin 5, Florida State 4. Retke. That time not even in rhythm, but still makes Florida State run all over the place. They go under the net. Point, Wisconsin, and Retke now with 14 kills.
Retke, another slide, didn't hit the ball that hard this time, but even still made a top play for the Seminoles. Unfortunately, get an error trying to save the ball. And it's a point for the Badgers.
So Retke, after earning that point, will now step to the service line. She gave Florida State all kinds of trouble in that second set. This time, though, good work by both Nunji and Canute. Point Seminoles.
And the Florida State offense coming alive with Canute on that play that we keep seeing. That slide is very tough to defend at any level for any team. Both teams doing a really good job executing right now.
So Retke will go to the bench. See what that means for Florida State. Hilly put it on a platter there for Hart. Hart, power first time, finesse second time. Hart, they go up for the block. Hart there with Hilly. Hilly goes right with you on the block every time.
Yeah, she does a fantastic job setting up the block, timing it right for her middle blocker, letting her get there and jumping together, put the ball down, not letting her have it for Peyton Caffrey right now.
Hilly's got 5 blocks, 5 for the Badgers. That's your setter, folks. And that's how you win national championships, when you got players that can do everything. There's a perfect set there from Hilly, and Duello now adds to her stats. She's got 6 kills.
It's a testament of Sydney Healy's athleticism, Dean. She was the Minnesota high school player of the year as a junior setting, and then she was also the Minnesota player of the year as a senior as an outside hitter. Just the versatility of Sydney Healy in display today.
Dug out by Hilly. Haggerty. Free one here. Caffrey right through. You talk about a powerful swing with a purpose. Peyton Caffrey now with 5 kills.
Peyton Caffrey just doing everything that she can, hitting the ball a little bit harder every single swing that she takes, making sure that Florida State stays within this match.
Danielle Hart has 6 blocks, but she was not able to block that shot from Caffrey. 8-6 Wisconsin. Wisconsin up 2 sets to none over Florida State. Hilly down the middle. Finesse. Dug out by Sullivan. Dug out by Barnes for Wisconsin. Pushed by Hilly. Big arm swing coming from Martin. Other side, going right through everybody, is Madison Duello, and now Duello Diego with 7 kills.
And Madison Duelo, very dynamic player for the Badgers, taking swings on the left side of the net, taking swings on the right side of the net, and putting up a very big block for Wisconsin.
Madison Duelo and Tiffany Clark earning third-team honorable mention accolades at the All-American level a year ago. Good back pass to Caffrey, and now Caffrey starting to do what Peyton Caffrey does.
She's hitting up right now for the Seminoles. I think as a coach, you want the setter to go to the hand, and no matter what Peyton Caffrey's on the court right now, I think that's where the ball needs to go for Florida State.
7 digs, 6 kills, hitting .091. Caffrey with the serve and with the service air. Service air story dead even. 4 for Wisconsin, 4 for Florida State. The Seminoles do have 5 service aces to just 2 for Wisconsin.
This is one of those stats that, as a coach, Chris Poole could not be mad about it. They have more aces than errors, but still, you always want to see that number low, maybe keep it underneath 5 for the entire match. Florida State doing a good job at the service line.
Tiffany Clark gives a service error right back. Now we're at 10-8. Wisconsin now with 5 service errors to the 4 for Florida State.
Let's see, Dean. Who do you think is going to take a swing on this play for the Badgers right now?
Retke's moving. There is Retke. I believe that was the setup Diego was looking for. They go the other side of Loberg. Now Florida State has a chance. Clark with the initial dig. Loberg dug out by Sullivan. Good back pass. Martin Retke. Dig by Caffrey. Back row. Nunji. Now Retke. Cleaned up by Loberg. Loberg, that was tough ball. Clark there first. Loberg, again a tough ball. Retke, dug out by Sullivan. What a rally we got going. Caffrey trying to find space. 2 Badgers collide. Still going. What an unbelievable sequence right here. Dug out again by Clark. And point, Florida State.
Dean, what an unbelievable showing of athleticism, resiliency. Every single player going for that ball, hitting the floor, keeping it alive. And unfortunately, the Badgers just ran out of gas at the end. But as we can see on our replay, Tiffany Clark with a very, very good dig. Madison Duelo, an inch taller, and she'll probably get that ball over the net.
Nice work at the net by Nunji. So they are going to review this as Kelly Sheffield bringing out that green card to take a look at it.
And Dean, this was a new rule during my last couple of years of coaching collegiate volleyball. I think it is amazing for the sport to give us a chance to make the call right. As coaches, we want to reward the great effort from our players, and every time that we can go and fight for them and get that challenge is something super helpful. So I think Kelly Sheffield from Wisconsin is arguing that Nunji of Florida State touched that ball. Doesn't appear so, and we'll see what the referees tell us after the review. From that angle, Dean, actually looks like it. Nunji does a really good job at telling everybody that she didn't touch it, so we'll see. But I want to bring up, Dean, since Nunji came into the game from Morgan Chacon, it's been a different dynamic with the Florida State offense. She's a freshman, but like I said before, her sister played volleyball at Notre Dame. She's grown with the sport, so she's doing a terrific job for the Seminoles.
Wisconsin leading Florida State. The Badgers come in as the number 5 team in the country, 2 sets to none. Coach Sheffield wants to talk it over here. 10-9 in the 3rd set. Wisconsin with those 5 All-Americans. Minnesota also with the 5 All-Americans. The only team returning more All-Americans, of course, is your reigning champs, Stanford, of course, led by Kevin Hambley, who did such a great job at Illinois before taking a job that he considered, I gotta believe, a dream job.
Coach Hambley, I completely agree. He did an unbelievable job with Illinois, and to take Stanford to a national championship as soon as he did was outstanding. It's definitely the team to beat this season in college volleyball. And
good look at Madison Duello.
I guess the referees didn't agree with Coach Sheffield on that challenge.
Inconclusive evidence is the word from our outstanding producer, Lauren George. Great crew as always. And able to tool that coming forward was Loberg. Big point for Wisconsin after that big delay.
And Sydney Healy, we can see it's probably one of the very few plays that she's been out of system this afternoon, but does a really nice job setting what we call a hittable ball for Lober for the Badgers.
Caffrey. Martin. Jasmine Martin, a transfer from Minnesota. Starting to get some kills as she's got 4 now, and it's 11-10. We got a good third set going.
And the Seminoles are back to what made them successful at the beginning of this match, being aggressive, taking swings at the block instead of trying to go around it, scoring some points and putting them in a good position to compete.
L with the service. Hilly, Retke, smoke, 15 kills.
And I gotta believe this is probably her 8th or 9th kill of the slide. I think that Florida State team just needs to make an adjustment, maybe move to what we call a rotational defense, where you put 3 people down the line and try to stop Ricky with that slide. It's a different way right now.
In 45 years of competition, the Badger volleyball program is counting down to 1,000 wins. Wisconsin 993, 536, and 12 as they begin their 46th year of play today here at the ACC Big Ten Challenge. They lead 12-10 in the third set. Barnes with the initial dig. And yeah, they'll say sliding into the net that time was Hilly.
Great job by Lauren Burns keeping the ball in play. Just a little bit too long for Sydney Healy. It's also difficult when you have Taryn Knuth, the best blocker in the ACC, right in front of you.
Here's Jessica Nungi. Diego Castaneda talking about what she has meant to Coach Poole here. And there's Nungi with the initial dig. Caffrey. Like you said, Caffrey does not even worry about the 6'8 Retke, but the 6'8 Retke less worried about anybody as she's got 16 kills and she's hitting over 500.
And switching it up a little bit right now. We've seen her go on the slide the last 4 or 5 sets. This time she stays in front of the setter. Quick set for a quick kill for the Badgers.
13-11, Retke serving. Sullivan at first. Knut, what a diving dig there from Barnes, and a point for Haggerty. We got to see the one-handed dig from Barnes, though. And here she goes.
12 digs by Lauren Burns so far. She's done a tremendous job coming in and helping that Wisconsin defense, that relentless Wisconsin defense.
The only player in double-digit digs is Barnes. Retke. What a serve and a service ace for Retke. 3 now for Wisconsin. They lead at 15-11. 2 sets to none. All Badgers right now. Take set 1 and 2 and lead the third set 13-11 with their superstar Retke serving. Sullivan, initial dig. Caffrey! And Peyton Caffrey now with 7 kills.
Very tough order for Sydney Healy, 1-on-1 against the ace, the reigning ACC Player of the Year, on Peyton Caffrey.
Taylor Roberts will come off the bench for Chris Poole, assisted by Jeff Holzmeyer and Jordana Price. That's the coaching staff for the Seminoles, who are down 3 here in the third set. Hit way too deep by Danielle Hart.
And then we've seen Danielle hit behind the setter off of 1 foot running that slide. This time around, she didn't get enough time to transition and put herself in a position to make that same play, and that's probably why we see that error from her.
Good serve from Roberts. Hart dug out by Florida State there by L. Big swing from Caffrey. And Caffrey behind yet another point as Caffrey now with 8 kills.
This is her 3rd kill of the set, and if I'm the setter, Adrian L, right now, I'll just keep setting her up until she cools down.
Roberts serving Florida State on a 3-0 run to pull within 1. They can tie it here. Clark, Hilly, Haggerty goes through 2 Seminoles. Roberts, Caffrey. As Diego called for it. Hilly, Haggerty. Denied. Williams at the net, side by side with Miss Emma.
And Emma, a player from Texas who won a national championship at the club level, doing a really nice job closing that block, putting the ball away for the Seminoles.
Tied at 15, 4-0 run for the Seminoles. There's Clark cleaning it up initially. Nunji flying from the back row. Haggerty goes through the tape, and that was enough. Haggerty using the tape to slow it down, and she'll get the kill.
And an unfortunate position for Peyton Caffrey right there. You see she was just not stable enough, not ready enough for that ball. An easy ball that she could have picked up for the Seminoles.
Give the Seminoles a whole lot of credit here, showing their Seminole fight. And right at the net, though, an easy tap there for Duello.
First reception error by Madison Sullivan on this 3rd set.
2-point lead, service error for Wisconsin, makes it a 1-point game. Wisconsin 6 service errors, just 4 for Florida State. As Coach Chris Poole will bring in 3 players, including Jasmine Martin, as well as Tessier will come in to serve.
Florida State, number 7, Lily Tessier.
Florida State serving to tie it, down 1. Haggerty, Hilly. It's Hart, dug out. Caffrey goes right through Hilly. Point Seminoles, and we're tied again, Diego.
And Peyton Caffrey doing an outstanding job at mixing her shots. She goes down on the angle shot 3 or 4 times in a row. Now this time she goes down the line for a kill for the Seminoles.
Barnes, yet another dig. And a big right arm swing there from Madison Duello. She's got 8 kills, 2 away from double digits.
And then it all starts with Lauren Burns, who's bringing a very stable level at the back row for the Badgers. Then a very good transition kill for Madison Duello.
Barnes with 12 digs. Going right through the block was Emma again for Florida State.
Florida State playing more insistent this 3rd set. One of the reasons that is helping, keep it close against the Badgers. I think that they're starting to feel like they have a chance to, make things happen and take this 3rd set of this match.
18-18. Hilly. Dug out by Caffrey. And another point, Florida State with the lead, 19-18.
And one thing that we can see is the Florida State team being aggressive, setting the middles in transition, always tough to defend in volleyball, putting that pressure on Grace Lover to close in front of Emma Clothier, who's doing a really nice job for the Seminoles this 3rd set.
Yeah, you said it. Emma Clothier has made a difference. for this Florida State team. Just a freshman, but the ACC reigning player of the year, Peyton Caffrey, now with 9 kills.
And Peyton is just a player that brings a ton of energy. She practices hard, she plays hard. She's playing a lot smarter this third set, mixing her shots, going angle 1, 2, 3 times, then going down the line next time around, but bringing a ton of energy for the state team and helping them stay close in this third set.
And Diego Caffrey is just 1 kill from a double-double. She's got 11 digs to go with those 9 kills. She's a double-double machine, as you see it right there. Great job by our crew.
And it's an outstanding job by somebody that doesn't only produce at the net, but also off the net, helping to keep those balls alive, keeping them in play, giving the Florida State setters another chance to take another swing and score more points.
Peyton Caffrey ready for the service. Florida State. It's a big serve, up 1, 19-18, down 2 sets to none. Wisconsin taking the first set by 10 and winning the second set. Martin pushes it over at the net. Big swing from Loberg. Martin. And Martin cannot keep it in bounds. We're tied again.
Great idea by Jasmine Martin. She saw a hole in the defense of the Badgers down the line, just missed with her execution of that line shot.
So here's Tiffany Clark. Martin again tried to tap it over. And then after that tap, Martin in conjunction with Clothier, and a point Florida State. They lead it by 1.
Just a little bit of a long pass by Madison Duell. Unfortunately, put the ball over the net, making the play easy for Clothier that time around.
So Madison Sullivan, as you see Chris Poole and his coaching staff looking on, got to be pleased with this effort. You talked to Coach Poole and Joe Segula as well for North Carolina. They said if we can get into the 20s, we're going to believe we have a chance. And now we're tied at 20s after the point from Wisconsin.
And Dean, completely agree with Coach Segula and Coach Poole. Anytime that you have a player like Peyton Caffrey in your team, once you hit 20, you know that you can just give the ball to her, let her do her job, let her put it away, let her score points for your program.
Izzy Ashburn going to come off the bench for Coach Sheffield, the freshman from Dayton, Minnesota, serving at 20s. As Wisconsin going to try to close it out. Florida State wants to keep on playing some volleyball here. As Florida State will take on Minnesota tomorrow at 3:30. Blocked. Canute with Martin. Canute, though, right there, ready for the block.
And Canute does a really good job tracking that ball, getting lined up with Jasmine Matter in front of Grace Lover for a really big block for the Seminoles.
Yeah, I feel like Martin may have gotten more of that one. It's 21-20 Florida State.
I think the referees are looking at making sure that Florida State has the right server ready to go right now. One thing that Coach Poole has done this set is it's unusual to get your libero to play in the back row for your outside hitters. So Madison Sullivan is switching back and forth between outsides and middles, and sometimes that complicates a little bit of your rotations.
Sydney Hilly, Redke. You could see Hilly and Redke talking before the serve, saying this is how it's going to go down, and Redke with kill number 17.
Absolutely. Sydney Hilly has gone away from Redke for 3 or 4 plays. And I think Redke that time told her, hey, you and I got this going on. Let's take care of it.
Now let's see if the transfer from Minnesota, Lauren Barnes, can close it out for Coach Sheffield. 21-21. Wisconsin up 2 sets to none. Barnes with the service. Almost had a service ace. Great dig, though, by L. Kept alive. Hilly. Redke. Cleaned up by Sullivan. Near side, Canute and in.
And this time, doing a little bit of a switch on the Florida State defense. The middle blocker just released to Ricky, and then that allows your team to take a dig, transition, and then get a kill on the right side.
Jessica Nunji serving up one, 22-21. Redke really couldn't set her feet or elevate, but a great dig to keep it alive. Redke gets a second chance. Caffrey, free ball here for Wisconsin. They don't go Redke, they go Haggerty. Haggerty goes point, tied at 22.
And Molly ready to take a heavy swing out of transition. Once the Florida State defense saw Ricky take the first couple of swings in that play, they got ready for that. And Sydney Healy decides to go the other side to Haggerty, who puts the ball down for the Badgers.
Redke 17 kills, Haggerty with that last kill at 12. It'll be Redke serving 22 all here, third set. Sullivan first time, Caffrey dug out by Barnes. Barnes now 14 digs, Haggerty just gets it over. Williams acts like she wants it, instead the push from Canute. She just knows what to do, right? Sydney Healy decides to take it herself, and she'll get the kill.
Sydney Healy with a very smart play in transition. Guess Deja Williams caught off guard with her arms down in the middle for the Seminoles. And a very good play by Healy for the Badgers.
One kill to go with 37 assists and 5 digs for Healy, and Wisconsin up 2. Caffrey too deep, point Badgers, and Badgers 1 point away from sweeping the Seminoles here in the ACC Big Ten Volleyball Challenge.
Miscommunication, will be the timing error between Erin L. and Peyton Caffrey. Unfortunately, Caffrey's not able to adjust to put the ball away for the Seminoles.
Sullivan at first, trying to keep it alive. Canute, and Canute with that big swing says the Seminoles are not going away.
A very interesting position for Florida State right now with 2 middles on the core. Your libero is off the core. Defense has got to be at a premium right now if they want to keep this set going.
Canute serving 23-24. Wisconsin needs a point to sweep it. Haggerty just pushes it over. Caffrey may want it back. Caffrey denied at the net. Healy and number 18, Hart. Healy and Hart with the winner, 3-0. Wisconsin taking care of business.
A lot of 5 from the Florida State team. Peyton Caffrey. The Florida State team goes as she goes, and unfortunately she had a big block in front of her. Couldn't get that kill to get the set going for the Seminoles.
Your takeaway from this first match of the ACC Big Ten Challenge?
Dana Ricky, wow. She is going to be a force to be reckoned with for Wisconsin.
All right, don't forget at 6:30 on ACC Network Extra, it'll be the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. I want to thank our outstanding crew: Lauren George, Evan Badler, Rachel McKinney, Cambria Harrell, Christian Clark, Sarah Willie, Zach Engler, Ryan Gibbons, Chip Sweeney, Ryan Moeller, Tim Arms, and William Overton, as well as Diego